Hello everyone, buongiorno. Today we're going to be making an Italian-American casserole dish, y'all. And it is the classic baked ziti. Now, ziti pasta can sometimes be hard to find, so if they are not available in your area, for substitution you can use any type of tubular pasta like mustarella, penne, or rigatoni. Today I'm going to be using rigatoni because that's all that I've got at home. And I really don't feel like making a trip to the supermarket just for some ziti noodles. I have made this recipe before with the ziti noodles as shown in this photo and also with the penne noodles. So like I said earlier, any type of tubular pasta will do for this recipe. Okie dokie, let's get started. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. In a large mixing bowl, add the ricotta cheese. I'm not a huge fan of ricotta cheese, so I'm only going to add in half of this container, but you can certainly add more if you like. Next, add the shredded mozzarella cheese. Then the shredded Parmesan cheese. And also add in 1 cracked egg. Stir to combine everything. Then throw in a pinch of salt and black pepper. And also toss in a handful of some fresh chopped basil. And give it one last mix. Now just set the bowl aside and we're going to start cooking the noodles. Fill a large pot with some water and turn the heat on to high. Then add in a round of salt. Once the water has come to a boil, pour in the noodles. Occasionally stir the noodles so that it does not stick to the bottom of the pot. Cook the noodles slightly under al dente because it will cook further in the oven. If you overcook your noodles, it would turn into mush. So for this type of noodle, I will boil it for 9 minutes. But if you should use the ziti noodles, then just boil it for 8 minutes. Once it's slightly al dente, go ahead and drain the noodles. There's no need to rinse the noodles. Once drained, just go ahead and pour the cooked noodles into the bowl with the cheese mixture. Then toss the noodles until they are all coated with the cheese. Once again, just set the bowl aside. Okay, now we can work on the meat sauce. Mince a few garlic cloves. Cut a small onion in half and then chop it. The Italian sausages that I will be using today comes in mild and hot. Because my kids will be eating this too, I will be using the mild one today. There are 5 sausages in each tray, but I will be using only 2.5 sausages for this recipe. I will save the other half to make something else, or I can just use it to make another batch of baked pasta. There's a casing on the sausages, so take a knife and make a slit down the middle of the sausage to easily remove it from its casing. Take the sausage and with your hands, tear the meat into smaller pieces. Then place the meat into a bowl and set it aside. Next, we will need to get our seasoning ready for our meat. We will need some garlic salt, Italian seasoning, and black pepper. If you like to add some heat to your pasta at this time, you can add some red chili flakes. Mix up the seasonings and then set it aside. In a pan, add a little bit of olive oil and turn the heat to medium-high. Once the oil is hot, add in the minced garlic. Then the chopped onions, and saute the onions until they are slightly translucent. Add in the shredded sausages. Now we're going to season the meat. Sprinkle the seasonings over the sausages. Stir the meat around and use your spatula to break the meat apart. Once the meat is brown, add in your sauce of choice. Just use your favorite spaghetti or marinara sauce. It can be store-bought or homemade. I'm using this jar of marinara sauce because it looks and sounds fancy. Marinara with Parmigiano Reggiano. Pour the jar of sauce into the pan and give it a stir. Bring the sauce to a boil and cover the pan with a lid. Then reduce the heat. Simmer the sauce for 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. Once the sauce is done cooking, give it one last stir. Turn off the heat and ladle a little bit of the sauce over the cooked pasta. Then toss the noodles. Now coat the bottom of your baking dish with a non-stick cooking spray. Also, ladle a thin layer of the sauce onto the bottom of the dish. Pour in the noodles and evenly spread them out. Now go ahead and ladle the remainder of the sauce over the pasta. Because this is baked ziti, the dish should not be overly saucy and the pasta should not turn out too dry. I feel that using just one jar of sauce is the perfect amount for this recipe. We're almost done, folks. Let's first top the noodles with some mozzarella cheese and then sprinkle on the Parmesan cheese. I'm going to top it all off with some fresh chopped basil. Fresh basil on top of pasta is so yummy, y'all. Alright, now cover the baking dish with an aluminum foil and we're going to bake it for 20 minutes. Now it's ready to go into the preheated oven. Bake, baby, bake. Oh yeah. Alright, it's been 20 minutes. It's time to remove the foil. But we're not done just yet. We're now going to bake it another 20 minutes, but without the foil this time. And we're going to turn up the heat, baby. It's going to go from 400 degrees to broil. It's time, it's time, it's finally done. Yay! It smells wonderful in here and it looks gorgeous too. Just look at all that cheesy goodness, y'all. For some vibrant color, I'm just going to top it with some more of the fresh chopped basil. Here is the finished product. I know you might want to dig right into it, but you should let it set for about 10 to 15 minutes before you serve it. Otherwise, when you cut into the pasta, it will fall apart. Tender pasta, yummy melted cheese, tasty meat, and a hearty sauce makes this the ultimate comfort food. It's not only tasty, but filling, fairly inexpensive, and it can feed your whole family. I personally will be serving this up with some garlic toast and a side salad. This would make a perfect weeknight meal or a potluck dish. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a fabulous day, and I'll see you later, alligator. Bye.